Going to tie the top 7 dry flies for Patagonia. The top 7, this is from Farbank. Farbank is a retailer, distributor of outdoor equipment. And they have a real nice article. I've bought some things. I bought a float tube from Farbank one time. I think the company is in Colorado. So the first fly that shows up is the Parachute Madam X. The second is the Morrish hopper, which is interesting. It's anatomically correct with 6 legs, which I think is fun. And then we have the Skater Tot, which I have never heard of. We have the, I think that's Purple Haze Parachute, which is a popular fly these days. We have the Ground Beetle, which is fun. It looks like there is kind of an iridescent back. And then it has a 3-part segmentation: head, thorax, abdomen, also 6 legs, anatomically, and some antenna, anatomically correct. And then we have a Morrish dragon. This one will be tough for me, but I like how the slits, there's slits in the foam, and then the poly is placed in the slits. I think that's very creative. Good design for a damsel dragonfly. And then the Morrish mouse, which not my favorite mouse pattern, but a good one for moving water. So that's what we'll focus on. We'll start on with the top, the Parachute Madam X. This might be a 2-parter. I might not have time to do all of them today, but maybe we finish up at a different time. So let's start with that Madam X. The body looks natural in this. I know that thorax is peacock herl, which is interesting. And then it looks like they have some kind of maybe pheasant tail. So we'll try to do that, more of like a natural style Madam X pattern. We'll just use this red thread because it's what I got. I would putting down a thread base. We'll want a tail. Where are my scissors? My scissors here. Scissors here. We'll want the tail. We'll want to start the tail tie-in at the head and drop it down for a more uniform body. The hair for the tail, I'm a little bit torn. I was thinking trying to do moose. Traditionally you would use elk or deer hair, but I don't really like the color of the deer hair, and since the body of this is so dark, I think a darker wing and a darker tail would fit. So that's what I'm going with. We're gonna try the moose body for the tail and the wing. I know it'll be good for the tail. The wing is a little bit suspect. So we'll clip out the moose body. We'll pull out the shorts. And then we'll try to even out these tips as best we can. They don't need to be perfect. So, yeah, certainly you wouldn't need to stack it, but relatively even is best. That'll be good. There's a few more shorts in there. We'll pull them out. And then we'll keep this sparse. Start the tie-in high. Let's measure out the tail. And then we'll wrap the tail, wrap down. The tail's a little bit thin. There's a lot of material on this fly, so I think a little bit thin is not bad. And we'll gather our butts, trim them down. Let's tie in our body material. This turkey is dark, and I think it'll cover well. So we'll do the turkey, we'll do no rib, and instead we will, let's tie in the turkey tip first. Instead of a rib, we'll put a thin base of super glue down to hold it, to give it a little bit of structure, little reinforcement. We'll do the super glue. We might run out of turkey wing. It's going to be cutting it pretty close. Just the thin amount, that's too much. And then I don't want it to bleed through the wing. So we have to wrap quickly now. Before that glue dries. I'm not even worried about the wraps being clean and connecting. They are. It's not bad, but not too worried about it. Those body wraps will be the first. When this fly starts falling apart, those body wraps will be the first to go, which is okay. Hopefully it lasts for a couple fish. All right, so now we have our body. We'll do a wing post, thorax, parachute hackle, rubber legs. Let's do the wing. More than you need for the wing, so we can cut a little bit out if we need to. Pull out what the heck, I shouldn't have done that. Pull out the shorts. The wing does need to get stacked. We'll put our hair in our tube. Stack your stacker. And then we'll tie it in. Slightly shorter than the tail, but still nice and long. One wrap, two wraps, three wraps. Give it a good, we'll need to trim this again, but this will help us secure, because you want to get in those butts and tie down. Get the thread in those butts to secure it down. Now we can trim it out, clean it up. That eyeball hook eye needs some work. Okay. A few more wraps around that hook eye. All right, that looks good. is traveling a little low. Otherwise, it's okay. Let's do our post. We'll tie in our peacock. We'll tie in that. So let's tie in all the stuff. So post first. Darker post. They're seeing the fly will be visible, so visibility is not a concern. Not really my concern. But I might add a little bit of white into that dark post. Let's see what we got. A little bit of white in the post. Something to help me. Not seeing anything. Here we go. This is Zelon. Not the same material as, well, I think it is just polypropylene. We'll clip some of this out, we'll add it. It's nice and shiny. We'll add some of that to our post. We got our post material. We got our Zelon material. A little bit different texture. I'll just trim it out, clean it up a little bit. And then pick it. Pick it. This is going to get doubled up on itself. So I think there's too much Zelon in there, so I'm going to pull some of it out. And now I'm going to distribute. So the fibers are mixed. That's fine. Bunch it. Let's tie it in up top. Further back if we can. That's good. I'm going to rotate it. Cross wrap it. Only once. And oh, come on. Cross wrap it. Bring it around. And then post wrap it. If we can get it started here without getting that wing. There's one. Let's reposition this. Make it a little bit easier. post wrap. Get a little tension on it. I'm gonna go maybe ½ centimeter up. I don't like them too tall. I think that's good. And then back down. Oh, while we're here, maybe we should tie in the hackle. This is a nice dark hackle, but a little bit short for what we need. Let's try a different hackle. This one looks longer. Also pretty short. Is this one hackle or two hackles? This one looks good, but it's quite webby. So this is not the best dry fly hackle. We'll use it anyway. Try it out. I'll tie it in. Then we want it traveling up with the post. So just a couple wraps up. And then reposition. Now we can do the peacock, rubber legs, and then the peacock. We're tying the peacock first. Trim that stray post material that was a little bit messy. Some got on the wing. That's okay. Peacock. I'm gonna tie in more than I need just so I'm not worried about. I think you could get away with three pieces. I'm gonna tie in 4 to maximize the coverage. I think the coverage is gonna be an issue. And then I'm gonna tie them facing the eye of the hook, facing out, because I'm gonna wrap them back, which is weird, not normal. And then I'm gonna try to tie them in toward the bottom because there's already a lot of buildup on the front side. Tie these in, secure, and then we'll do our rubber legs. There's so much on this fly. Quite busy. Rubber legs. I'm gonna do a lighter tan. You could do like a purple, I think would look good, but we'll do a lighter tan. And then just X's. I think that's why they call it X. I'm gonna try to get them close to the size that I want them. If they're hanging, they'll kind of get in the way. So I'm gonna try to get them to size right now. Longer toward the back, shorter toward the front. And then placement, it will be on the side. All right, legs are in. Next, we wrap the peacock toward the midpoint. Try to get one wrap in between the legs, kind of except pushing them. Maybe yeah, that's what I need to do. So I need to travel the thread so it's finished on the post. And then the tie-off point for the peacock will be at the base of the post. You could secure it with super glue as well if you didn't want to go through all this hassle. How we looking? All right. So back to the peacock wrapping. Having a thread holder for your bobbin would be real useful right now. I have one, but I don't use it. Oh yeah, it'd be super useful. I'm going to use the camera. Ooh, buddy. Couple wraps of peacock in between the legs. Finish up toward the post. Get our thread back. I would dub this. I would not use peacock. Catch the peacock on the base of the post. Trim off your peacock. Wrap your hackle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plenty of wraps. Trap your hackle. Trim your hackle. And whip it. One good is all you're gonna need. One solid whip for this. You don't want to trap those hackle fibers. I'm gonna sink it tight. And so if you did another one, you're gonna start building up too much thread. I'll give it a trim. One wing fiber. Let's trim out our parachute post. I'm always conflicted. Do you just do a straight cut or an angled cut? But we'll play it safe with a straighty. It's quite the post. And we're done. Most Madam X patterns are not this dark because most of them have a lighter wing, but I kind of like it. The moose is straight and thin, and this doesn't have the bulk that the other patterns I see, which is good. The polypropylene post will take floating very well. The hackle is basically useless. It's just there for decoration. And then the rubber legs, I don't know if those even are necessary, but adds to the profile. Yeah. There's the underside, if you can see it. Let's do the next one. I think we got time for one more. This is definitely a two-parter. Next one is, I'll show you that's what we were going off of. Ours looks a little bit different, but that's what we were going off of. This guy, I don't have any barred legs, so this is the Morrish hopper, good pattern, good pattern. Let's try to do it real fast. They have cutouts for the Morrish that you can buy, and I think if you tie a lot of those, you definitely would want to invest in the kind of a stamp cutter outer. We'll try to do ours two-tone, light on the bottom with dark. So we'll start with 2 colors of brown. Small rectangles. Let's get our hook first. Alright, so we have our small rectangle of light brown, and we need a darker rectangle, dark brown. There's some interesting cuts happening. Let me show you this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to recreate this. So there's an interesting cut at the mouth. There looks like there's some gap there, and then there's an interesting cut at the end. It kind of comes in and out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to recreate that, but and then there's an angled cut here. Everything is cool on this fly, except the eye is just a dot of permanent marker, which you go through all this effort, tying anatomically correct 6 legs and whatnot, and then you put a permanent marker dot for your eye. Maybe we can do better than that. Let's measure out our length. I don't think we're going to get the angled cuts on the back. I do want the brown to be slightly longer. The thread choice is going to be important for this as well. I'm going to, before I start shaping this anymore, when the shape is not great right now, I'm going to glue these pieces together. Yeah, so roughly the same size, light brown with dark brown. We'll glue them together. And then we'll take it from there. Glue them together. This will be the tail section. I'm going to notch it out. I'll try to get that angled cut. No, I don't think we're going to be able to. And then the head, we're also not going to do what they did for the head. Slight taper. I'm going to achieve my taper by heating it up. So we'll stick it on the roaster and we'll heat up just this back part, kind of knocking out softening those edges. And then we'll pinch and roll the back part. And then you see slight taper. That's all we're going for. Slight taper. The tie-in is going to be it's going to be a scored tie-in. And then I'm going to use a clear monofilament thread. It looks like they're using a tan thread, but let's try it with the clear monofilament. Might be the way to go. I don't know how long hopper season is in where you live, but for me, it's literally 2 months, like July, August. And July, August, where you can get away with fishing a fly like this size, but people will spend the most time with these hopper patterns. Can't really fish them that much, so it's a little bit pointless. Like that Madam X. Well, I guess if you're traveling someplace and you want to have the right one. But if it were me, just a clump of CDC on the back of this hook, dubbing body, clump of CDC. That's a pretty good pattern. We want to score the body, but we don't want to score the head. That's why I think they did that cut, that mouth cut. So we're gonna bend it and just score in the middle. And not even the tail, just in the middle. Then we have our monofilament. Let's place it first. Let's extend, I think that's the placement we want. There's our hook even going in. A little bit. Yeah, let's glue it. Try to open this up and then glue in the incision. Place it quickly. It's not great. Let's do that wing. Or the high vis spot. Just cutting out little oblong piece. We don't need to glue that in. Rest it on top, 2 wraps. Legs, 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 legs. Where's the rubber legs? So double for the back, single for the front is what we're looking like here. Knotted knee joint. We'll do 2 knots. Here's one. And then here's 2. Front legs look like single with 1 knot. Okay. Let's place our leggies. 1 wrap, 2 wraps. Let's place our leggies. One wrap, 2 wraps. The legs are kicking pretty wide. Wider than I would like. There's nothing we can do about it now. Let's trim out the excess. And then you could travel the thread this way, so you hide it under that flap. We get it started, and then we do our second tie-in point. Get as much tension as you can. And then we do next set of legs, singles, 1 knot. And those knot sits a little bit further back. Get another one. One knot. Knot sits a little bit further back. Side placement, 1 wrap, 2 wraps. There we go. And then we tie it off. Let's trim that leg. We got to fix the head. We were not very good with our head size. But because we use the mono thread, there's minimal thread buildup, which is what I wanted. That can be a problem with these foam flies. You end up just trying to hide the thread as much as possible by adding more material, dubbing, and unnecessary things. Okay, let's trim out the head a little bit, and then let's trim back the wing a little bit. Shape that. And then we were making fun of the eyes earlier. Can we rectify? I think we can. We got some mini eyes we can use. Put a dot right up top. You could go crazy with your marker too. That doesn't look that good. Maybe permanent marker is the way to go. These will fall off. Everything's okay. It'd be nice if these could be angled higher. And a little bit of a touch of glue. Let's try. Slight. Any more, it'll warp the silicone leg. Just right at that joint, and then try to angle it up. See if this works. Yeah, better. But it might not be very durable. And then if you could do the same thing toward the back, I think that'd be also be good. The middle can run wild. Anyway. Split the rears. It's not splitted. Let's flip and review. All right, this is what we got. One Morrish hopper, and then one with crazy legs, and then one parachute Madam X. Which one is more fishable? I have no idea. These legs are still going wild. Comments: penguin face, clock, TV, lots of emojis. I don't know what to say to that, man. We'll do part 2 another day. We have 5 more to go. The list is the 7 best dry flies for Patagonia, and we've got just big patterns. We started with parachute Madam X. We did the Morrish hopper. The skater tot looks interesting to me. Is that like parachute deer hair? And a tilt wing? Very nice. The green foam, I've never seen foam that color, so that's gonna be tricky. Purple haze, classic. Ground beetle, interesting. And the one I'm stoked for is this dragonfly. That'll be a beauty. But we'll see you next time, and we'll catch you later.